Hey everybody, it's Rick Trummer from Rick Trummer Consulting and Training, and welcome to video 2 inside the business basics area. What I've done today is I've started to put together a nice presentation for you so that you're going to be able to move forward with understanding the very basics of what a business needs to run itself. As you remember from yesterday, we've kind of worked off of the idea when we were going through the mathematics of pricing of how to run a business. And we kind of went through the cost of goods, your cost of operation, and your profit. And we went off the understanding that we would be using like the 50-40-10 rule. That 50% for your cost of operations of your gross revenue. And of course, 40% cost of goods and 10% left over for profit. So we're going to be working off of that rule. Now, you can go online and download our mathematics of pricing along with our business management grouping, which includes our software that goes with it, our spreadsheets, etc., along with a quick movie on what we're doing, and of course our marketing plugin. Or you can just follow along. Every day we're going to be going through another segment and working through your business and what it's all about. What I've done is inside that packet, I've laid out kind of a general rule for you to go through and look at your chart of studio accounts. How much are you spending in each area? And I've laid out some general guidelines of where you should be based on your amount of money that you're spending on a per year basis, where you should be. As you can see here, I've laid out some general guidelines. And again, these are just guidelines. Some areas you'll have more, some areas you'll have less. But you're going to be kind of in these areas when you set forth your business proposal or business plan. You should always set forth about 10 to 11% of your gross revenues for advertising and promotion. So if you're somebody that grosses, let's say, $100,000 a year, you should be putting away roughly $10,000 a year in promotion. And then, of course, out of that $100,000, you really shouldn't be spending over $50,000 totally inside that group. But we're going to be getting more into that specifically a little bit later on. Now, once we put all of this together, you should always be constantly looking for areas to save. If you're spending, let's say, $5,000 a year in your telephone, at the end of the year, you should be taking a look at how can I reduce that bill by 10, 15%. Good business owners always take a look at their general overhead and figure out where they can save a little bit of money. The one area that you don't want to save money in is the area that's going to make you the most money, which is your products. As photographers, you're making the most amount of money with your lab. If you're a great studio that sells wall portraits, you want to make sure that you're using a lab that has quality products. So that's absolutely a must when you're inside this profession. So that's the one area where I wouldn't be necessarily looking to save a bunch of money, because that's the one area that you're going to constantly be showing in front of the public. So keep that in mind when you're working on all of this stuff. So we kind of went over the general guidelines yesterday on where to go, but between now and tomorrow, between this video when you watch this today and tomorrow, what I need you to set forth is how much money you spend on your monthly expenses. As you can see here, I've gone through the exercise and I've laid out different expenses that I had in my last business year, including advertising, bank charges, business insurance. You can go down the list and kind of see this. In the packet, you'll notice that I have this sheet also inside the packet, so you can see that. You'll also notice that I spread out my salary for myself and the salaries and wages for our employees separately, although the payroll taxes all come out in one area. So those are things that you should set aside. The other thing you'll notice is the lower right corner is your total of how much outflows you have going. We have just under $300,000 per year here in our total outflows. And so we should not exceed 50% of our gross revenues. That means that we should have been bringing in at least close to a little over $500,000 to be able to make this business proposition work. We're going to be able to go into our numbers and we're going to be able to see what we're going to have. So a little bit more on that tomorrow in our next video. But again, between now and tomorrow, I want you to work out all of your expenses that you have on any given month and go through that exercise and figure out where you are in your overhead. And then tomorrow, we're going to put all of those numbers to work. Well, until then, I'm Rick Trummer from Rick Trummer Consulting and Training, and I'll see you on the tube.